Mark Cummings.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
Now, people in our county have had thousands and this is just interesting, loyalty card points stolen. We think about crime, but your loyalty card points stolen. Some people are telling us they only noticed they'd gone by checking mobile phone apps which actually manage their store accounts. It's classed as fraud, and any type of card could be targeted, such as supermarket cards, coffee shops, all that sort of stuff. Our reporter Mark Smith has been finding out more about why it's happening and how.
It's part of the shopping routine these days, scanning your store loyalty card.
If you have a Nectar card, please scan it now. Card accepted.
Tesco was actually the first supermarket to introduce a club card back in 1995. Most of the other supermarkets soon followed, as did a host of other places such as coffee shops. But, be honest, how many of these cards have you got in your wallet or purse? If you do have a stack of them, you might be tempted by mobile phone apps, which mean you don't need to carry around a piece of plastic for each of them. And it was because of one of these apps that Paula Witcher from Quedgley and her daughter Kerry noticed something wasn't quite right.
I got a message from my daughter. She said, I've woken up to an email from Costa Coffee asking of my experience in Nottingham. She goes, I've never been to Nottingham. She's got the app on her phone, so she looked at that. Her points had been swiped, cleared out in a branch in Nottingham. She's a bit peeved because she's been saving them up because she's 8 months pregnant and wanted to go and have a treat once the baby was born. So she was a bit annoyed. Anyway, I've got a Nectar point thing. I've just downloaded the app a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, £3? I'm sure I've got more than £3 on here, but I didn't think anything of it. Anyway, I was playing around with the app. Oh, what does this do? What does that do? Oh, look, activity. As I'm scrolling through the activity, on the 3rd and 4th of September, on the 3rd of September, I had 500 points taken off. And then on the 4th, I had 4,500. In Dartford.
Paula and Kerry are not alone. A quick search online brings up stories from all over the country of points being stolen, including 36,000 from one lady in Portsmouth, worth nearly £200. Well, Nectar has given Paula her 5,000 points back and, as a goodwill gesture, given her a bonus 2,000 points. I did ask the company to explain how the theft might have happened, but in Nectar's statement to me, it simply said it takes any suspicion of fraud extremely seriously and has a number of security measures in place to prevent it from happening.
So, hello. I wasn't expecting that pip at the end. I thought that was me. OK, now Dr. Jessica Barker from Gloucester is co-CEO of the cybersecurity firm Sygenta, based on the Bristol Road. Morning to you.
Morning.
How's this work then with our loyalty? They're after everything, but the loyalty, it's when you get your loyalty, your bonus points and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of us probably aren't aware of, but it's a fraud that's actually risen a lot over the last couple of years. So research actually shows that it's risen by about 89% in the last year. So it's certainly something that people need to be aware of. Loyalty points are being targeted, probably in a few different ways. There's a few different ways this fraud could take place. One, most likely, is probably compromising of usernames and passwords. So if people are using usernames and passwords that they've used elsewhere, if they're weak passwords, then it would be very easy, unfortunately, for people to be guessing or cracking those passwords and stealing people's points.
So that's one way. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other ways?
There's other ways it could be. For example, the cards could be cloned. So it's pretty cheap and easy, unfortunately, for criminals to be able to clone cards.
Right.
Another possibility is people receiving phishing emails. They look like they come from the supermarket or the coffee shop asking for your username and password, but they actually come from the criminal. And if you're putting in your username and password there, you're effectively handing them over to the criminal. And of course, there could be a problem with some of the apps, but I think that's probably the least likely of all the possibilities here.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it's all the basics, isn't it? But it's interesting about cloning the card, because our credit cards are sophisticated, but loyalty cards don't appear as sophisticated. And that you can understand how that could be done.
And we probably don't take the same care with them as we do with our bank cards. It's something that we probably don't think about, as we heard on that pre-record, until we come to maybe spend them.
I suppose a lot of us thinking, I mean, I'm not really good with loyalty cards, but my wife is brilliant. And there's something we needed to get a new TV, and it didn't cost us anything. Oh, that's fantastic. So a lot of us might be listening to this one thinking, where's the money in it? Is it really worth it for them? But obviously, with loyalty, it's worth it because they're doing it.
Absolutely, and it's a numbers game. As you say, some people can have a lot of money on a card, might save it up for Christmas or for a big purchase, and certainly if you compromise enough accounts, then suddenly that's an awful lot of money for a criminal.
Also, I mean, I'm one of these now. Can we take your email address, all that sort of stuff for our receipt and all that stuff? It's us giving out our email address. What's your advice on that?
Well, if you use your email address as a username, then you're exposing your username more commonly. So particularly if you use a username that you've used elsewhere or something that commonly can be guessed, combined with a password that's either weak or has been breached elsewhere, then potentially that's one avenue for fraudsters.
And finally, anything else we can do, the basics we can do to protect ourselves, what would you advise?
Use strong passwords and use a different password for your accounts. If you're able to enable two-factor authentication, that's like a double layer of security. So you would have to enter a code and not just your password. And be wary of phishing emails. So if you get an email asking for your username and password, be very wary of entering your details.
Wow. Okay, well, look, thank you. Can you stay for one more minute? Because I'm going to do the travel news, and then it's annoying the heck out of me, but I'm trying to guess your accent, where you're from. Don't say where you're from. It's driving me mad. Although I was listening to every word you said during that interview, but I was thinking, there's a word you keep saying. I think I know. Anyway, don't go anywhere, you. And Mike Warbston, stop looking at her credit cards whilst you're there. Okay, this is not good.
I've got my scanner
Cyber security going on here. Right, Alex, what's happening? Early doors, 7:15, Monday morning on the roads.
Yeah, it's starting to queue on the A40 heading towards Gloucester between the Hynham and over roundabouts, and there's the usual delays on the A48 as a result. Heading towards Birdlip, it's starting to build from the Air Balloon roundabout now, and the A417 Crickley Hill towards the roundabout is also getting heavier. The M48 Severn Bridge, there are warnings for strong winds between Junction 1 for Orst and Junction 2 for the Wye Valley Link Road, but currently remains open to all traffic, so just take care in that area. If you can update us, do give us a call. We're on 0800 121 7575.
Keeping Gloucestershire moving.
On FM, online, and on DAB digital radio.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
First mistake of the week. Cummings trying to get Jessica's accent. It's just that when you say the word, do you have any links to the northeast of England?
Yes, I do. That's where I'm from.
Northeast?
Yeah, well done.
Warby, the week started well.
Yes, actually, I was thinking northeast, but no, it's not very pronounced.
No, it's not, but there's a bit.
Just a little bit.
So now we have
you're
to.
From Leeds, aren't you?
Apparently. Yeah, I left a long time ago.
Mind you, that's not really northeast, is it?
No, that's southern, really.
Southern.
I think, now we have to go for, is it Sunderland, is it Newcastle, is it County Durham, or is it Middlesbrough? I'll just go for County Durham.
Whitley Bay.
Oh, Whitley Bay. Whitley Bay. There we go. Whitley Bay. Can you just, before you go, can you say the word Kawasaki?
Kawasaki.
That's it. We've got it now. We know exactly. Fine. Thank you so much for joining us. That's great. Just a quickie with loyalty cards, as someone who's a complete numpty with loyalty cards. On the positive side, they're great. If you use them properly, you get your points and then you end up getting, in a sense, things for free. Which is, in your view, the best loyalty card out there? The one that you definitely have used the most, that's giving you the best return and that you've got the most out of? I'd just love to know. Best ever loyalty card, what would it be? I know everyone's got lots and lots, but is it Boots? Is that the best one? Or are there much better ones? Anyway, I'd love to hear from you. Cummings@bbc.co.uk, 0800 121 7575. On the way, with the winter weather coming up, if you've got a 4x4, how you can help out?
The last major job we did was the Beast from